Not worried about the sunshine, couldn't care less about the rain. All we need is YouTube to upload our games. We shut all the curtains and turn off all the lights. And now that we've got time to record some more stuff. To record some more stuff.
Can you see it?
Hello, okay, so, right, I said I was going to do this test, and I love to do honest reviews, and not these ones that are sugar-coated on adverts, and, you know, they tell you all these fantastic things. I want to know if it's genuine. But this one is brand new from Asda. It was £25, and it's actually a mix, if you can see this, I'm hoping, mix. It's a mix charge. And it is a model number C15. It's got 15,000 milliamps. So basically what my idea of this being 15,000 should charge, if I base this on 3,000 milliamps, it should charge it 5 times at least. But we're going to do a test. If it charges it 5 times on here, it should be about 20% battery used for one charge. And I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to try and turn it on. There you go. It's on the red. It's completely dead now. I run it completely dead. I'm not going to turn it on. I'm going to plug it in and we're going to start it. Now, just to show that I am doing it from, it's like I say, this is a brand new one. And you can see it's at 100%. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in and I'm not going to turn my phone on at all while it's charging, so it just allows it to charge and see if it can get to 20% on here off, so it'd be 80%. Let's see how much it charges and then we'll go from there. Now this one should be roughly on average 5 times, which is about 20% off, which would be 80%. So technically this one at 10% should be around 50% for my Z5 if it goes by every 20% for a full charge. Now, I haven't turned the phone on as promised. I kept it off. It's nearly at 90%, which will be halfway. And basically this one, the Z5, should be, as I said, on 50%. Now, let's see what it is by just pressing. I won't turn it on, I'll just tap it once so it brings up the charge. Now, it currently, I'm trying to get there, it has 20%. Basically, I don't know if you could see, it's at 90 now. You can see I'm on 90%. So I've used 10% of this, which should technically give me 50% of my battery on my Z5. You know, I'm not really sure about this, to be honest. 15,000 milliamps. Unless there's something seriously wrong with my phone, which my phone lasts me a good while. It's been a really good phone. For me, this thing has been solid. Even when I charge it from the normal plug and just use it normally, it runs really well. So, you know, the only way I can really test it is, again, if I wanted to be absolutely sure, is running it off a brand new phone, because this is a brand new 15,000 milliamp. Now, are they actually selling it as 15,000 milliamp? This is the question. These products, you know, do people buy them and they obviously last a while? So in your head, you're thinking, oh, yes, this obviously works. But then how do you know that it is actually what it says it is? Like if you just assume, oh yes, I've got more battery on my phone, does it really mean to say you've got the exact number of milliamps in it? You know, how do you know, for instance, you buy a 15,000 one and it's got 10,000?
I've actually contacted MixCharge regarding this as we speak. What's happened basically is I'm doing this test, as you know. Now I got to 80%, which should be, as I said before, around 50% charge of my 2,900 milliamp of, as a round figure, 3,000 milliamps. Okay, so 20% should be 5 times on this one. Okay, now it should mean that this is at 100% by the time this gets to 20, which it would be 80%, right? When I got to 80%, the actual figure was only at 50%. So basically, working it out, okay, this one is, as a round figure, 3,000 milliamps. This one's supposed to be 15. If I can get to 20%, should be 100% charge 5 times, I'll be happy, right? But the problem is this has got to 80%, so 20%, it's gave me 50 on this, which means if you work the figures out, you add another 50, that means that's going to be down to 60%. So for every 40% on this, instead of 20, this will be 100% charged. But considering this as a round figure is 3,000 milliamps because it's 2,900, okay, that means that to charge this phone on 40%, 2 times that, so 2 times of that on a rough figure is 6,000, add another half of that because there's only 20% battery left, so it's going to be half of the battery, which is another 1,500. Calculating them, two 3,000s are 6,000 milliamps plus the 1,500, so that's 7,500 milliamps charge from this when this is 15,000. So in other words, at 7,500, that's half of the 15,000 milliamp battery that it's promising in this brand new device. Now, I mean, you only have to work it out for yourself. A lot of people, I don't know if they do these tests. I don't know if they just buy a power bank and go, yes, fantastic, I've got more battery. And they don't really look into the figures. They just assume, yep, I've got a power bank, I'm off, I've got more battery, I'm happy because I'm just addicted to my phone. And so long as I've got more power, I don't care. But the point is, you've got all of these power banks with different capacities. Like basically, this is like saying it's 7,500. Now I could have bought a 10,000 milliamp version of this, which is more than the 15,000 that I've bought, and it was cheaper. But how do I know that that 10,000 didn't actually have 10,000? It might have worked the same. How do I know this isn't even a 10,000 model that's just got 15,000 written on it? That's the problem, is that if unless you work it out yourself, unless you do a little test when you buy these things, because you've got all these devices which say this one's got 6,000 milliamps, it might have 2,000 milliamps, it might have 10,000, 20,000, like my other one, 25,000. You know, you've got all these different milliamps and you pay different prices for them. So it's important that you get the right one and you make sure you're not being conned. You don't want to be conned when you're buying a device that says it can carry 10,000, 20,000, whatever milliamps, and you just buy it assuming it's right when you can't actually see in the damn thing. You know, you don't know for sure unless someone could just diddle you and say, "Here, here's a 15,000," and they chucked a bloody 5,000 in it. Like this one, 7,500. It's basically going to give me. Now it's nearly, as you can see, it's on 99% since earlier, and as you can see, as I was correct in believing, there is actually 61% on here at the moment. So basically, earlier on, I did say that 50% would used about like 20%, which it should have used. Basically, 20% of this should have charged my battery fully if you're basing this on 15,000. And I was correct at halfway that this would go to about 60%, which is pretty much there before this gets to 100%. And I haven't turned the phone on the entire time. I haven't had nothing running. I haven't powered it on. I've just left it as normal to charge. So I've got nothing in the background going. And yeah, I mean, I've contacted MixCharge about this. I'm not particularly happy about it. I mean, 40% off there. Always, always, please check that you're buying the right thing, okay? Because at the end of the day, anybody can go out and buy a power bank and say, yeah, that's it, so long as I've got extra charge. But the point is, you're paying for the capacity. There you go. It's used 40% battery now, and we're still on 99 at the moment. So there you have it. That is going to be roughly around about 2.5 times charge, 7,500. Always check when you buy a power bank, check it out. Run your battery down, give it a check. There you go, it's just gone to 100% now, and that's on 40. So that is exactly as I'd predicted. It's gone through an entire amount. You can see it's gone to the full 100 at 60%. So 40% battery that has used on 100% of my Z5. And I'm telling you now, right, when you get a power bank, make sure you do a check on the capacity of your phone to see it's correct. Okay, because you don't want to just buy a power bank. The whole point of buying a power bank, right, with different milliamp capacities is you could buy, like, say this is a 3000, I just want one charge. I could go out and buy myself a 3000 milliamp battery. It could charge it the full 100% and say, yep, that's working. But then I've got one here that's 15,000 milliamps, which should charge this 5 times. Now, if I'd have bought a cheaper one, which was about 7,500 milliamps, and it gave me the full 2.5 charges, it would have been cheaper than buying this at 15,000. So you don't want to buy something that is, or pay more money for something you could have paid less for and had a bigger capacity or the same capacity as what it says. Never get diddled. Okay? So anyway, guys, I'll check out for my other one. I'm going to do a test on my other one, which is this, which I've had for years now. I've had this as Zendure, and it's a pretty high capacity to at 25,600, and that means the full capacity charge on this, okay, should be about 12%. I worked out just under 12%. So I'm going to charge this, which at the moment it's on 8%. I'm going to charge it to 12%, and I'm going to see when this runs down again. I'm going to see how far it can go up to see if it's around that figure of 25,600 or not. Anyway, guys, it's an older one. This is a brand new one, and yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in all honesty, and I think I'll return it. So anyway, guys, check out my other videos. I do all sorts of stuff, comedy, gaming, you name it. And anyway, if you're a happy gamer and you want to see me again, click the subscribe button and remember my name, Yanu. That's who. See you later, guys.